Hey, what's up, everybody? Smashcenter's back. We are here with a new episode today, Monday night. And yeah, we got a lot to talk about. We had a lot happening over in Japan, a lot happening on Twitter, and most of all, just a lot happening this upcoming weekend with Shine 2019. My name is Suar from PG Stats, Panda Global. We're here to bring you the most. Coney's joining us in a second. In Smash Ultimate news, tournaments coverage, and controversies and more. We're going to go ahead and jump right into the Umebura SP4 tournament, but we're actually going to break it down with Coney, get some reactions, get some ideas, see what he's feeling. Last week, if you didn't see or hear already, on YouTube, we posted the last episode of the EVO episode, Beach. Actually did the voiceover. She was very nice. Hopefully people liked it. If you have any feedback on that, let us know. We're just trying to get it nice, packaged, parceled, and out there. But in any case, if you're watching on Twitch, hold your questions until the end. We're going to have a live Q&A, which will probably be very spicy. If you're hearing this for the first time on YouTube, then you kind of missed out on that. So just make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so you can stay tuned to the latest in Smash Ultimate news, coverage, etc., etc. But without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in Coney. We're going to go ahead and make sense of this Japanese bracket. His expertise, his actual area of expertise. Coney, what were you doing this weekend, man?
What did I do this weekend? Isn't it crazy that I don't know? Yesterday I got my tire fixed again because it screwed up again.
Okay.
And that was something. Caught some Smash stuff. Saw the reactions to Plant getting second place, which is a little nuts. And I saw a few clips of how he got the second place, him hiding under the Smashable platform. We can talk about that in a little bit because that was nuts. I don't know. This game has so much more to learn. And so much to discover and be explored. And I think Piranha Plant, his ability to do stuff to people has been really underappreciated. Everybody just kind of wrote the character off, but I'm interested to see how much further he can go, if anywhere. This might just be a one-shot and he never does anything after. I don't know.
Okay, so for context, right? Piranha Plant, first character to come out in DLC. Of course, it was kind of like a fake DLC in some respects because it came out with the game. Of course, redeeming your code on the whole Nintendo eShop, etc. But for the most part, no one was really hype about it. I think it was like the Duck Hunt Dog, Game & Watch. And okay, before it gets clipped, at large, the community was pretty like, oh, cool, funny, awesome. A little bit of a gag, making a character a little bit of a troll pick, but cool. We put it in the back of our minds. We never talk about Piranha ever again. I haven't seen one on stream ever until this weekend. Yeah. And then all of a sudden we got Brood getting second. Brood popularly playing Duck Hunt, I believe, along with Raito, if I'm not mistaken. Have you played Piranha Plant at all? Have you seen the gameplay outside of Brood?
No. I mean, like, I played Piranha Plant at Genesis because everybody was trying it. Because it was when he first dropped, and I was like, okay, this character's silly. Somebody smarter than me or that plays more will probably find a way to make it work, but maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. And then he just kind of evaporated into nothing. It was really funny because I went to the first Thunder Smash thing, and they didn't know that there was DLC for the game.
Oh.
So they were like, oh, God, do we need to update the latest patch? And we're like, yeah, you can do that for free. And people were like, well, do we need the new character? Does anybody play them? And we were all like, actually, you really don't need to buy that. Because you got to think about the logistics. It's like 30 Switches. Are you going to buy a $5 character on 30 Switches? And then, of course, the first person on stream is a 12-year-old kid that plays Piranha Plant. So that was kind of a funny story from Thunder. We made it work. We had it on that Switch. But anyway, regardless, the character he's in that space where I often forget he's in the game. Just doesn't exist. I never see him. So for me to see him here was kind of a surprise. But who else but Brood? Brood seems the type to make that kind of thing work. So
yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that, it's a character that gets overlooked. Hilariously enough, the Smash Heavyweights, or the SmashCon Heavyweights event that happened at SmashCon this past weekend, or the one before, did you know that Piranha Plant is as heavy as it is? Like, it was Piranha Plant, it was I think, yeah, Bowser and DK.
Oh yeah, we talked about this. Yeah, because we talked about the heavy thing. Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah, Piranha Plant is like pretty weighty.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so.
No, 8th heaviest in the game after Incineroar, before Samus, which actually surprises me.
You know what I think it is? I think characters that, like, if they're really heavy, you think in your head, like, at least they have that. Like, K. Rool sucks, but at least he's really heavy. Bowser's pretty good, but he's really heavy. But Piranha Plant doesn't even have that, because it's like, he's not good, and you don't even register the fact, like, oh, but at least he's heavy, because, like, he's not going to do anything in a lot of people's minds. But apparently that's not the case, as Brood got second over a lot of good players, a lot of good Japanese players.
Yeah, a lot of good players. I mean, I really just was surprised.
I wonder part of it is the tournament format too, because like they do best of ones over there, right? Am I making that up?
This event, the pool structure, this pool structure, this was an 8 tier. So a couple things. This event was Japan's first 8 tier this season. Congrats to them. Obviously, international multiplier in play. They had over 500 people show up. Abadango took the whole thing, followed by Brood getting second. We had Kamame show us a little bit of Sheik action again, but of course Wario and Mega Man was what he really brought to the table. Ken with a 4th, which we can talk about in a second. Choco with a 5th, coming back. Choco being ranked before in Smash 4 and making the case that you don't even have to leave Japan to get ranked or leave your country to get ranked. Albeit it was in like the upper 30s, lower 40s. He was ranked. Gact, the Nest player, of course. Dio, someone will make a JoJo's reference, which I won't understand. And then Kome, the Shulk that everybody has always pretty much referenced compared to like Nico, I think, in the West. The Battle of the Shulks. I haven't seen much, but this is crazy because I haven't even ever put a Shulk in a top 16 bracket this season at all. Shutone at 9th, Shiki at 9th. You remember the Zero Suit that really made noise at EVO Japan a couple years ago. T, who has a longer tag than his sponsor. Sue, of course, using a little bit of Hero, which is a little bit, I don't know, eye emoji. Rima with Joker and Toon Link. Shogun, the Fox from Smash 4 as well, giving us a little bit of Snake. Some with some Greninja. And Tara Kotori with Little Mac. The first time Little Mac's made top 16 at 8 tier, as far as I know.
Yeah, I remember that turning a lot of heads too. Just seeing Mac at, I think, 13th, if I'm not mistaken.
13th tied, top 16. So the tournament is a hard one. So how do we break this before we get into the later parts of the show? So when it comes to Japan, you know, we joke about it with Coney, we joke about it with chat. Results kind of get overlooked, but at the same time, I think it's just more so a time zone thing, as well as just like, I mean, people only care about what's in front of them. Taking a look at this graphic, Coney, I mean, you have Abadango, first of all, making a splash again. Out of this entire top 8, only 2 people are ranked, and that's Abadango at 40th, Kamame at 19th. Everybody else is unranked. Some of them have been...
shout out to Abadango, by the way, because like...
Dude, it's been a while.
Yeah, he has been sort of slumbering for the first 6 monds of Ultimate. Hasn't really done anything. He had a good showing at EVO, and he's following it up with a great showing here, winning this. So that's a big deal. I know a lot of people sort of were looking at Abadango sort of like not washed, because normal people don't say that, but you know, like,
he was kind of
wondering if he could you know, make it work anymore. But apparently so. Good stuff.
Character crisis in full force. Abadango being known for juggling just all sorts of characters. Here he brought us a Meta Knight, he brought us an Inkling, he brought us a Wario, and he brought us a little bit of Palutena. For the beginning of Smash Ultimate, he had pretty much been doing a lot of the Inkling sort of play that we saw, but then it kind of stopped. But now it's back. So... Any other parts of the top 8 graphic that really stand out? I mean, I think it's a wacky mix. I don't know what it means, though, because this is the issue, right? So what will Americans make out of this? You know, is it pick up Piranha Plant, get, you know, 5th at your local? Like, I just don't see that.
I don't think anybody gets anything out of it. I think people see it and they're like, oh, Japan. And then that's it. You know?
Damn, I really be like that.
But I do think that after seeing what happened at EVO, and what didn't happen at SmashCon, I guess, but I think people will look at this now and not just think, oh, Japan must be a weird format, or maybe, you know, they weren't ready for the character, because we know that Japan's really good. So this is a little bit... I don't know if alarms are going off now, because like Brood only played Piranha Plant. You see a lot of multi-characters on this. That's kind of interesting to me, because this dude just solo rocked it all the way to second.
Dude, that's second?
Yeah, that's a little surprising, especially since he beat Kameme at third, and let's not forget that Kameme beat Leo at Evo. I don't know. I think it's something to watch out for. We'll see if Brood can replicate these results, because what happens a lot in Japan is like somebody have a good run, and then like Shutone here is ninth, and we know how good he is. We'll see. Yeah,
so definitely keep him on the radar. Abadango seems to have, you know, an A-tier win, by the way. That is very major. It's not a ticket to top 20, but it is a resume builder for sure. Yeah. Abadango definitely struggled the first season to really push into the top 8s or top 16s at the Nationals. I mean, this is, I think, one of the harder games to learn multiple characters with, only because the viability of other characters are a lot more in the center than Smash 4, which I don't think is a controversial statement, but like you can get blown up by certain things that you don't know. Yeah. Because being off stage is kind of awful. So, you know, a lot of mishaps, a lot of, you know, misclicks, etc. 3 stocks kind of do dampen the effect, but Abadango's learning a lot, and once he seems to get the download like we saw in Smash 4, even towards the end with Bea, which could have been a really dark timeline if the game had any more years to it, seems like he's on his way to success. So congratulations to him for taking first. I think that's something that, you know, a lot of people will be comfortable knowing. It'll probably help his seeding the next time he comes here. I don't know how many of these players will be here at Shine. A lot of people did the Evo to SmashCon twofer. Don't know how many people stayed for Shine. You're not going to Shine, right? You're hunting. Okay.
No Shine for me.
Okay. So not really anything else aside from that. There are definitely storylines interwoven into it, but I think the biggest takeaway here is keeping Japan on watch. We're going to see probably more A tiers, at least a couple more B tiers, only because they have, you know, a lot of Japanese presence in the PGR this time that can like really bolster that on top of the multiplier. So stay tuned for that. I think that for the time being right now, we didn't even see Hero, aside from, who was it? Was it Sue? Yeah, Sue brought Hero, so who knows how that's going to play out. The 4.0 patch was live for Umebura SP4. I'm happy to see Ken at 4th. I think that's very interesting as well, and I hate using the word interesting because it doesn't mean anything, but for Sonic to be placing this highly again, I don't think that like he's just like he's not a done deal. I don't think Sonic is over. And Schultz, of course, in the grab bag. So that'll cover the first half of this episode. We're going to keep it tight, but now this second topic, that the one that everyone's probably here for, the one that I'm personally here for, and that's this Hero ban. So Coney, bring us to some context, right? You've been around Smash for at least 30 years now. When it comes to banning a character, how close has it gotten? Because it hasn't happened. Okay, so it hasn't happened aside from like dorm rooms and basements and whatever. Well, how close has it gotten?
The problem is it's not technically true that it never happened.
Okay.
It's a weird thing, because in Brawl there was a whole lot of talking about banning Meta Knight, need to get rid of this character, and then we had this problem where everybody wanted to get rid of Meta Knight. Then Japan came over and beat us up with Meta Knight. And then everybody in the US was like, see, we need to be like Japan and win with Meta Knight. And people were like, wait, that doesn't prove anything. But that somehow strengthened pro Meta Knight mentality. And then eventually, Meta Knight did get banned in theory.
Wow, that is meta.
It's a weird thing, because...
To be clear, banned in doubles at all, ever?
Double Meta Knight, I think, was banned at one point.
Okay, so a la Cloud Smash 4.
Yes, but not single Meta Knight. I think it was double Meta Knight was...
Yeah, like Cloud Smash 4. Because
I think that was it.
I don't think single Cloud was banned, at least nationally, but I know that double Cloud, I think it was banned for Gommel.
Was it? I thought single Cloud was at points. I don't know.
Any case. So
regardless,
what was happening? Theory banning? You're like banning the thought of a character? That really sends me.
Not even like a soft ban. It was like, so the Smash back room.
Here we go. I haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah, the Smash back room decided that he should be banned. But the best region was New York, New Jersey. I want to say Tri-State, but it wasn't Tri-State. It was New York and New Jersey. And they were like, no, everybody here plays Meta Knight, at least as a secondary. We're not banning Meta Knight. Ooh. And of course, everybody follows the best scene, so nobody actually banned Meta Knight. So what was supposed to be a full community-wide Smashback room ban ended up affecting maybe a couple Midwest tournaments.
The Midwest. Who can forget?
The Midwest was its own anomaly. Like, they had Pirate Ship Legal at some points, and like they were always like the fun region, right?
The Toon Link, the Wind Waker map?
Yeah, they were like your wacky uncle. If like Smash is a family, the Midwest is like your goofy uncle with like the seltzer spitting flower. You know what I mean? Like the hand buzzer. Like nobody there ever won, but they were very fun to have around. So that was the Midwest, and then that was the Meta Knight thing, and that's really all it came down to. Because like New York, New Jersey ran everything, and I contend to. I shouldn't get into this. I'll get into this after that. I've gone on record. After the show, I'll talk to you off show, because I've said this on my stream before, and I'll say it personally, but I don't want to put this on Smashcenter. But I have a very strong belief in the whole Meta Knight ban thing that I probably shouldn't say publicly because I don't want to get people in trouble. So I'll talk to you later. But I have a feeling about the Meta Knight thing that I will carry to my grave. Regardless, it never actually happened because Smashers are very... Smashers don't like taking things away. They barely like adding things. It's very hard to get rule sets changed. And Rishi actually just put out a really good video on this where he suggests we play on Congo Jungle only with stars on low in Melee. And it actually is a pretty good argument. I digress. You should watch the video. It's very good. But regardless, I was staunchly anti-Meta Knight, as were a bunch of people. But really, I think the community favored Meta Knight because the stronger like regions played it, blah blah blah. So that happens.
It sounds like you're describing clout before it was clout.
Yeah. I mean, like there's definitely much less clout back then because like anybody that was on Smashboards was mostly a player, even if they were not good. You know, there were no viewers, there were no fans, anything like that.
Oh man, it's so fascinating.
Yeah, so that's what happened with Meta Knight. Then we had to talk about Bayonetta, obviously, and it's because Bayonetta sort of changes the rules of the game, sort of the same way Meta Knight did. Fighting Meta Knight was not like fighting any other character. Fighting Bayonetta is not like any other character. And eventually we did not ban her, but some places did. I think only Spain. If I'm not mistaken, something like that.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So and now,
yeah,
Australia has banned Meta Knight or has banned Hero. See, it's an instinct. Like I'm so used to saying it. Now, Australia has banned Hero. South Australia. I don't know if
were you there? Did you clap that entire region?
No. Okay. I was not in South Australia. I was in North and West. I don't. Or East and West, but I don't know if it has spread because I did read something that it's going like bigger than just South Australia. South Australia is a very small subset, as far as I know.
Even bigger.
But yeah, I think it might be getting bigger, and I don't know what that means. But yeah, basically, it's because Hero is not like fighting any other character and has very extreme stuff. Bayonetta could kill you at 0 if you screwed up and got witch twisted. She could kill you at 20 if you got witch timed. Hero can kind of do the same thing. If
Hero can kill.
0, you could die.
Hero can kill his own partner at 0 in doubles, which is something I think I saw anti-share, which was the start of Mastery 2-1 Go. Actually, on PS2, the hero was on the top left platform, their partner was on the bottom left, and then someone on the bottom right knocked the person on the bottom towards the hero. It was a crit
forward smash, by the way. So that's another hero thing.
And then into a thwack, which is get better. So I'm hearing a lot here because this is actually a very interesting case study. So Meta Knight almost banned, not banned because of a select few. Bayonetta, not banned kind of a little bit more complicated because there was a couple dualities that I want to at least highlight. One, esports was a factor, right? I mean,
Yes.
people had careers, and I put air quotes because some people had more at stake than others. So it's kind of hard to say like everyone had like the same amount at stake because some people were in high school and other people were like in their mid-20s, like blah, 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 blah. But we're not here to compare that, right?
Yeah.
But like a lot of people are like, well, the top Bayonettas, what's going to happen to them? And that's like, that's awkward. And then people were also able to beat her. So that's like kind of the awkward part. But then ESAM would say that she's beatable, but then lose to Mistake. So it was like, oh no, like what's really happening here? People get cheesed out. Evo top 8 was pretty gnarly. And then locals were also facing some backlash, and some locals actually, I knew a lot of regions that did ban Bayonetta, and it's a little different because now it's talking about a very contained, almost Australia-esque situation where, well, no one's really trying to travel to like Genesis, right? But at the same time, we want to have people have fun, and like we're losing numbers, and Smash 4's in its 4th year, so let's just let her have it, boys. So now, though, esports is still in play. No one's really doing anything with Hero. We didn't see a single hero really make noise at SmashCon, which was the event, right? Part of myself, my chaotic evil, wanted like 4 heroes in top 8, right? Just for the Vine.
I wanted that too.
Just for the Vine, or just for the TikTok. Let me be contemporary. And that would have been ugly. And so I think that now, though, what's weird is we have the concept of, does a national, which SmashCon didn't, which I respect. It was within 10 days instead of the typical 14 FGC sort of thing. But since when do we follow what the FGC does? 10 days, pretty close. So someone coming in from Guatemala, someone coming in from like, Tokyo could have gotten thwacked, right? In a Game 3 situation, flying all the way to Chantilly, Virginia. So they didn't ban. So now the smaller regions ban. How do you feel like that pressure will accumulate or not? Because does anyone follow South Australia? Are they going to inspire anyone in Europe? I mean, the only tweet I put out on it is what worries me about regions banning Hero, especially this early, within a couple weeks, is will they then almost turn in their competitive license in the sense that like, oh, you guys couldn't deal with Hero? Oh my gosh, like, we don't care what you say, which is rampant all the time, especially when it comes.
Yeah, that's probably going to happen regardless. And then I don't think they really care because we're not interacting much anyway, and not many people think highly of Australia to begin with, so that's not a big deal.
In the sense of Smash skill,
right?
Nice people.
Yeah, I mean, like people are not really.
Gotta watch out for the clip pony.
Yeah, I mean they're not bad players, but I'm just saying, like in a worldwide sense, I don't think they're going to be losing sleep over some player in Alabama that doesn't think Australia is good. It might extend to the rest of Australia. I'm not sure. People in the chat are saying that Korea has just banned Hero, which is kind of surprising.
Well, this is like international policy now. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I wonder if this is going to be like I'm wondering if it'll sort of like snowball. I think before Hero makes any kind of before this discussion gets any kind of weight, I think we need to see it with our own eyes because so many people need to experience that and watch it happen. And I think that SmashCon was the time that could happen. It obviously didn't. But at the same time, like Plant just got second in Japan and he's been out for what, 6 months, 7 months? I don't know how long it will take Hero to do that, but I think eventually just chaos theory, like eventually Hero will pop off somewhere. Will he pop off consistently? I don't know. Will he take up 4 of the top 8 slots? No. Just absolutely not. That's not going to happen. But 1, 2, 10 players are going to seriously invest time in this character, and they may or may not be a problem. I'm sort of keeping my nose out of this because as a commentator, I love Hero. Like, I think I love commentating his matches, but I'm getting paid anyway if I'm commentating. I got nothing on the line. I get to make up funny words for him, and then I get laughed at while you die and lose all your money. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm okay from where I'm sitting. Competitive integrity, I don't really give a shit about that. I'm very much like I like what Fortnite does. I get why people don't, but I think it's funny. I am all for the chaos of Smash. So, in theory, I like Hero, but I should not be making any decisions about it.
So talk a little bit more about competitive integrity, because that gets thrown around like, you know, the next hottest thing. What does it mean to have competitive integrity in a game where, I mean, you can play 8 people at the same time and turn big and invisible? Like,
well, the problem with Smash is that we've had to decide what skills we do and do not value in the game. So whether it's stage control, whether it's neutral, whether it's
customs,
whatever you think adds to that, you want to keep that in the game. So we have more than just one stage. We don't just play on Battlefield or FD because we favor, you know, a player's ability to sort of adapt to their environment, to play to their character's strengths, stuff like that. But we don't allow certain stages like Hyrule Temple because we don't think that running away from somebody is a skill that should be encouraged. It is a skill, but it's not one that we really want to encourage at all. So where that comes into Hero is, yes, you can get lucky and just get a forward smash and kill somebody at 60, but is that something that we want to encourage people to do if we're looking for the best player in the room? And the problem is that in Smash, it's not like we get a game to do this right out of the box. We have to do everything. We have to decide stock count. We have to decide time. We have to decide stages.
Which they're meeting us halfway on, which is kind of an interesting nod. The default stock, at least in Elite Smash and what have you, it seems to be 3, right? Instead of the previous 2.
Well, you get to pick.
Okay,
That's
but
you can pick 2, 3, or...
the online open events, the invitationals, those have been 3.
Yes.
And they could have been 4, could have been 5. Could have been 2, could have been 1, but it's been 3. So that's true. We have decided what's competitive, what's not. And what's interesting that you said is, like, yes, we get Hyrule Temple circle camping. That's kind of a thing. I mean, that's a strategy. It's kind of awkward how we want to decide what's exciting and what's not. And when it doesn't work and it doesn't necessarily have like the particular counter player, the merit's obvious, then people get really upset. So then why doesn't Hero have competitive integrity? Or at least what have you seen people say, apart from the obvious? Like, is he competitively filled with integrity? As I just watched Parappa Magic Blast and take up at least a third of the stage.
It's a silly concept.
Oh,
so there
man.
are two sides of it, because some people say he's designed around the RNG because his normals aren't good. So he's got the Shulk problem. He's basically like a more intense Shulk, because everybody's like, okay, Shulk's normals are garbage.
He's like LSD Shulk.
Yeah, everything just has insane startup. You can just stuff him. He can't do anything. But that B, like Shulk's the Minato arts, turn him into an insane character. And a lot of people feel the same way about a hero, where it's just like, these spells are nonsense. That neutral B does, 45 fully charged? And it's not that hard to hit. Like, imagine if charge shot...
It's like a charge shot. Yeah, it's basically a... why would you use charge shot over that, honestly?
Right. There's the zap one, which does an insane amount of damage, even if you do the middle charge. The middle charge is amazing.
And it's like a quick static shot. Like,
right.
Boom.
It's just full screen.
It's like when I touch my cat, like, on the nose after just walking on carpet. Like, side B. Like...
Yeah. I feel like...
And the fully charged one is all sorts of wacky.
Yeah, you shouldn't be getting hit by that, really, but you can.
If you're off stage, it covers an air dodge. It covers a lot of weird stuff. It's a long time. It's like a Raikou hitbox, almost. Like,
yeah, but the problem is that he's, like... It's a little disingenuous on both sides, because one side is saying that he doesn't have any tools, he only has the RNG, which is not true, because he does absurd damage with his specials.
You haven't even talked about the crit aspect.
Yeah, there's the crit stuff. So
we'll get to that in a second.
I think 1 in 8 chance, yeah. But the other side is saying that he can consistently magic burst you off stage, thwack kills at 0, blah, 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 which, like, that's not going to happen consistently, you know?
But here's the thing, it can happen, right?
Well, it can happen, and that's sort of the problem. But that's not what people are arguing. People are arguing, okay, I'm going to knock him off stage, I'm going to pick Magic Burst, and there's no counterplay.
People, like you said last week, only see extremes.
That's what I was talking about last week. This is the exact thing. This could not have come at a better time. Smashers do not understand nuance, and that's why we have figureheads on either side of the talk that are just strawmanning the other into oblivion. Again, that's why I'm kind of keeping my nose out of it, because I'm not a competitor. I don't have the time. I don't have I don't care.
You don't want the clout that bad.
No. Whether either he's going to be on or off, I don't care. I'm going to talk about the game either way. I wish he was on, because I think he's funny, and I don't think he's that bad, but I've been very wrong before, consistently wrong. So I don't want to make that judgment. And also, Smashers are very, very bad at walking things back. They will never walk anything back. So if we ban him, he's gone probably for good and forever. Even if he gets nerfed later, people will not bring him back. So I don't know.
So a lot has been said. A couple things though. The aspect of the crit, that, you know, the aspect of the crit, the aspect of Magic Burst, the clear parts of his kit that are just like, ugh, right? Not gonna happen consistently as a statement. Not going to sit well with the Jack and the Jills of the scene. I think that it only takes once. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I was on Elite Smash, and I did get thwacked. Like, I have the shirt. I got thwacked at 0. And it was kind of like, okay, all right. I thought we were kind of done with that, but we're not. Here we go. I ended up taking the game, because it's like, okay, Zero Suit, you know, can pretty much have her way with Hero. But I just don't know. Like, it's one thing to have these specials, which at the same time are mixed in with very detrimental specials, especially if you use Hocus Pocus. I mean, you could kamikaze, right? But people are saying, like, no, you don't need to use those specials. Every time you open up the menu, you have a good special. Yeah. Consistently, I think the only true aspect of the arguments on both sides that pretty much withstands a lot of the sanity checks of a sound argument is the language barrier one. I don't know if it's right to say we'll just learn the language, because one, that's pretty, I don't know, it's pretty odd for people coming outside of America, right? And two, it's probably going to further stifle any travel. Well, I mean, now that there's masses of heroes, so that's the thing, right? Like, what does it actually do? Like, is the language ban?
I don't think that has any.
No merit.
I don't think the language thing has any merit, because the MP values are unique.
But you don't see that until you hover over.
Okay, no, that's true. That's a good point. So you would have to scroll down, and then you have to do the mental. Okay, that's a good point. I didn't think of that.
So it's kind of just uncanny, because if we're talking about accessibility, we can't just like be like, well, too bad. I mean, it's just kind of weird.
But I do think if you're going to play the character, it's sort of your prerogative to
not to say
that's how it should be, but that's how it's going to be, because it's the best we can do. I don't know if it's worth banning an entire character just for that, but I think, I don't know. I don't feel like that's a strong enough reason. But again, I'm not. I should not be listened to, regardless. I think Hero is just, again, I think it's the same as Bayonetta, where it's this totally unprecedented thing. You don't know if you're playing Smash anymore, because this character has stuff you've never seen in a Smash game. Joker has that too, and we're not talking about Joker, but everybody's talking about nerfing him. Everybody wants to get rid of Arsene. Everybody wants to get rid of Rebels Guards. So, like, I just feel like this is a more extreme case of that. I don't know. I'm along for the ride also.
Okay, so talking about implementation then, right? Let's say tomorrow the background of Smash Ultimate, which is a meme, it's not real.
Doesn't exist anymore.
But let's say the backroom of Smash Ultimate's like, you know what? Leffen, you're right. We gotta hand it to you. Here's the key to the city. How should we ban him? What does practicality look like? Because I'm looking at this from the standpoint of a rankings competitive one. if a tournament, right? Because I didn't really say much on it because we were kind of like undecided on a particular statement. This is like kind of candid. Yeah. But like, should we address Australia? Is Australia ineligible for the PGR now? We were kind of like, I mean, we don't have an official stance on that, but now it's kind of like, if we're gonna like, because what's weird about Smash, among many things, is the fact that you have multiple regions, at least in the previous game, use 3 stocks, 2 stocks. For a while, Woohoo Island. For a while, not Woohoo Island. Then they were using, what was it? Delfino. God, I remember Delfino. Then no Delfino. And so on and so forth. There was never a congruent international standard, aside from 2 stocks, 6 minutes, which again, sometimes would be 3 stocks, 7 minutes. But the tournaments counted all the same. I kind of envisioned it as like a clay court versus a grass court, you know, like in tennis. And that was more so like, I mean, that's just kind of how they do it. And some people that would play on the clay court, like Europe, aka, would come here and get kind of smacked, except if they were Mr. R or Glutoni. And then people would go over there and sometimes also get slapped. So I wonder what the implementation is, because if it's going to be the smaller regions pressing for it, which could set a particular precedent, not sure. It hasn't been done yet. You mentioned Brawl Meta Knight got... Would you say that in totality, Brawl Meta Knight got closer to a ban than Bayonetta did in Smash 4?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Just all things considered, yeah.
I think the community pretty much with Smash 4, Bayonetta, it was either like, please ban her, and then no one did, and then people either just quit. We were never really that. We were never hovering over the button, unfortunately. But again, does Genesis come out with that rule? Because the implications of that are pretty severe. I think Australia and like smaller regions banning for their own sake of, hey, we want to have our local community thrive. We don't want to deal with a dice roll every time. I think that's fine. But again, how does it progress? Where do we go from there?
It's going to be... I think a major is going to have to take a chance, but even then, I don't think it's not a foregone conclusion, because Big House has wobbling banned, and that's an anomaly.
That's a first, right?
No, I think
of that scale.
Before.
Of that scale.
No, I think that they've had wobbling banned before. Jungle Guy hates wobbling.
You said Big House or Gommel has wobbling ban?
Did I say Gommel?
I don't know, but you said Jungle Guy. Big House 9 has wobbling ban. Okay.
Wobbling is banned, and I'm pretty sure that it's been banned at past events. So like,
okay,
having Hero banned at one thing doesn't necessarily mean he'll be banned at everything else. If this is gonna roll out, a major needs to put their foot down and make their stance known. And I don't know if it's a Genesis. I don't know if it's a Frostbite. I don't know what it is. I don't think it'll be a Frostbite, but it could be anything.
But what that'll set, like, personally, like, just kind of, again, because so tournaments that have them, tournaments that don't have them, right? At Frostbite, he's not there, but he's there at Genesis. Salem beats...
That's how it's probably going to work.
Yeah, but then Salem beats whoever, right? Number 1 at the time with Hero, but Hero was legal, but then at Frostbite... his main is not legal. How does that work, right? How does it...
Then you're going to have your own thing where people are like, is this... It's not going to solve anything, because then people are going to say, well, he would have won anyway, and then people are going to be like, well, this doesn't mean that he should be banned. Like, it's... You can't win. Like, I don't know how the PGR is going to factor that in. That's... Again, I'm just a commentator. That is your decision to make. Good luck. But if a major is going to do it, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to roll out all the way through.
No, it doesn't, and it'll take time. But my question still would be like, okay, so Salem beats Leo with Hero, and then it's like, well, every other tournament ban Hero. What does that mean? I
think you treat it just like anything else. Honestly, I mean, you would have to. Sure. You would have to. You would just, because there's no way to factor in all the variables. It just has to be black and white. Salem wins, period. That's it.
Yeah, just I guess the character doesn't matter. Yeah, I guess technically, sure. I mean, it'll just be weird because then what is that? Yeah, so then that was the other argument. It's like I saw Leffen talking a lot about like the wait and see aspect of, you know, we shouldn't ban him until there's 5 in top 8. And then, you know, it's like, well, we can't ban Bayo because of all these top Bayos. So it's like you can't bake your cake and eat it. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of things to consider. I think the argument's a lot more complex than what people originally let on. I think that the nuance is important to see as well, because again, like it's not just like you're gonna get thwacked when it's 3, 2, 1 go. You're gonna get magic blasted when you're off stage. You will eventually, because that's just high variance, but it's not like what people are saying. The character is by and large rather clunky. It's not something that you could just pick up and cloud rar nair. He's like a pretty clunky character. His normals are rather slow. His aerials are rather slow. They're all disjointed, sure. But again, at the same time, you're not talking about like that pick up and win sort of character. Pick up and cheese, sure. But if you're gonna face a hero in bracket at this point, chat, like just take a step back, don't hold forward, and just relax for a sec, you know, because.
You're also, if you're picking up the character so that you can, I don't know, see instant results, 1, that's probably not going to happen. 2, that's a huge risk. Because I think it's pretty clear that the character, like you said, is not pick up and win. I think some players will be well suited for it, but I don't think that, like, I mean, no top players are doing it. Nobody's doing it really for Joker either. But nobody's really switching over to hero, at least in a big sense. I mean, Salem obviously, but that's, again, Salem is suited for that because he's into that weird stuff. So I don't know. That's what he does. That's what he does. He does that with characters. And we don't even know if he's going to stick with it, but we'll see. He tends to have a pretty short attention span with this stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm interested to see where he goes. I hope he stays legal, but I could take it or leave it. I'm not the guy making the decision anyway.
So, if to vote right now, you could not one way or another. Are you?
If
for
I
it?
had to pick one way or the other, I mean, okay. Here's the thing: if I had to be
you're in the Smash
of the community,
you're in the Smash back room. It's anonymous. Are you voting yes or no? Ban hero right now.
Don't ban.
Okay.
But that's with the understanding that I'm an anonymous person. Just putting my note into a box.
Just like putting it and then running away. Throwing the trash out and then running away in the dark.
I don't want to be a 39,000 follower guy.
A hero apologist?
Yeah, exactly. And it's not because I'm scared of like the backlash. I don't give a shit about that. I don't care what people say. It's more that I don't feel comfortable guiding the community because I don't have a horse in this race. I had very strong feelings about issues in the past. I said Mies should have been legal, 6 years ago. Oof. Like during Smash 4, I thought Mies should have been legal the whole time, and they should have been. I felt very strongly about that. Nothing came of it. Even Gimmer.
Did they get banned?
What, Mii Brawler?
Mies got banned, right?
Well, no, it was 1111, which was disingenuous. And
stupid. Mii customization was banned.
Right.
Yo, Mii's were whack, dude.
But you might as well have just my thing was either just ban them outright or give them one moveset. Because giving them 1111 is not their real moveset. It's disingenuous. That's not what they were designed to do.
But Coney, what is their real moveset?
You decide it when you make the character. If it would be one thing if you made the character and it was like default, and then you had to go into another menu to do it. But no, you make them, and as you make them, you pick the moves. I don't want to get back into this. Mies should have been legal from the start. I felt very strongly about that. This hero stuff, I don't care. I legitimately don't care. And guess what? Mies are legal now, so maybe, I don't know. I don't want to be the guy making the prediction again.
Oof. So you're so far like what 0-19 on this show for predictions.
I'm not consistent.
I
have been very wrong in the past. However, again, Japan did not pop off at SmashCon, so I was right. The most recent tournament is the important one. So there we go.
I am not in favor of a hero ban. I don't see him as an imminent threat. I think competitive integrity is a little bit of an oxymoronic take in a game like this. So, I mean, there's a lot, like, that's a can of worms, bro. Like, competitive integrity, this and that, like, bro, competitive integrity in Smash 4 was like an antonym. So it's like, it gets difficult because, again, we've pretty much bleached, Cloroxed, and synthesized what we think should be competitive Smash. Like,
Right.
that's what we thought it should be, what we think it should be. Like, could have been coin battle. Could have been coin battle. And that's not more right than what we do or more wrong. It's completely arbitrary. It's picking this time, because, you know, the stream matches and whatever, like, that's totally like, dude, it's like just drawing chalkboard on a blacktop, and this is the four square that we made. So personally, like, I think competitive integrity is a little bit, it's just not hitting for me. It doesn't hit for me. And I'm not even talking about Game & Watch down throw 9. I'm not even talking about, you know, some of the other wackiness that you can have. I'm not even talking about Waft, right? But like, competitive integrity in a game that's essentially built on the concept of just really awkward maxes and mins, you can't. Where will it go? Where will it go? Like,
yeah, and that's sort of how I feel too. When the game is fundamentally not designed for this, sort of in the same way that Fortnite is not designed for esports, you can sort of stuff the square peg into the round hole. You can make it work, but I think when you do that, you have to make some concessions about deciding what you value and what you think is competitively viable. Like, I'm of the opinion that we need a bigger stage list. I genuinely think WarioWare should be legal. Still, I think we need more of those stages because I think we have every stage that's ever been in Smash. It's huge, and we still play on the same, like, we play on Final Destination 5 out of 8 stages. It's ridiculous. Like, I'm sick of that. I'm sick of big stages. I wish that we would open our minds a little bit, but that's just me.
But the Incineroar back throw revenge.
Oh my god! That's Coney, you play Incineroar. Oh my god! I don't give a shit. Everybody kills earlier. That's the point. Okay, I can take Bowser to Town and City, Final Destination, Kalos, and sometimes Battlefield, and he'll live to 160. Oh my god! I can't believe he's living to 160 all the time. That's crazy. But if somebody dies at 80, God forbid that, right?
40.
It's bullshit. That whole thing's dumb. Oh, 40. Okay, my bad.
25.
Now we kill you at 0, so it doesn't matter anyway. Point.
That is actually hot tea.
The point is that we need to be, I believe, in my heart of hearts, this is how I feel, we need more of that. And so I feel like Hero's okay. But again, I'm apparently a radical, so I don't want to be heard from. Because maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. I just talk about the game.
Yeah,
Period.
I think a scary, almost extreme, and one that's very popular to many is almost like what you think of Melee, right? Melee is not supposed to be played in any other way than the current meta. Like, you're not going to pop off with Bowser, you're not going to pop off with DK, you're not going to pop off with Game & Watch. Like, the stages that are set, the stock, like, what works for that, right? Because it's kind of funny, like, again, and how balance is such a weird amalgamous concept of, like, okay, Bowser's amazing in this format, but Bowser's terrible in that format. Both of those formats are things people play, right? If this game was about who can get left to right the fastest, okay, Sonic, here you go. You're top of the tier list. But this game is about these punishes and the stage control on these stages with this time limit, with these stocks, with this sort of like... So, of course, one thing is going to be higher than the other, right? Arbitrarily speaking, because, again, if you turn the game upside down, then, again, it's going to be a whole different gambit. But Melee is, like, extremely stratified to only work in a certain way. So that's why I feel like this competitive integrity bit is a little bit misguided. And everyone's sharing it, so it's not even like necessarily like a gaff at like Leffen or anything. But I think for many people, like, we want Smash to be this consistent thing out of the box, but it is by far the most inconsistent thing. Wow, Shield really got broken by that. That's hilarious. Smash is like, it's consistently inconsistent, so it's like great because at the same time you don't want your basketball bouncing like a bowling ball and then sometimes like a golf ball and then sometimes like a handball, which is kind of what happened a lot in Smash 4. when you wouldn't take a stage, or you get grabbed by Zero Suit at this, or whatever, and rage. And I think that got toned down. But again, if it comes to the aspect of having things be, you know, this frame data, this whole thing, and that's why I kind of always like, not laugh at, but I kind of take people that take frame data a little bit too seriously in Smash, like with a little bit of skepticism, because like, yes, frame data matters. Yes, it's important to know what moves come out when and what stuff's what. But like in this game with so many different things that can change that, almost like it's just like, it's like not enough, right? Yeah. In Street Fighter, this grid, this left, right, like you cannot go outside of this. Like it is very, very essential, a salient to every situation. But like Smash is so wacky, dude. Like, yes, the pros make it consistent and all that, but like to end that rant, like competitive integrity, I don't know if that's it, personally.
Yeah. Just to tie everything up before we go to Q&A.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons I believe Meta Knight was not banned, and one of the reasons that Ice Climbers got super strong, is because we played on a very conservative stage list.
Here we go.
So like Battlefield, FD, Smashville, and then it was very tight. We used to have more liberal stages on in Brawl. It was like Brinstar, even Rainbow Cruise.
Bro, the one that flipped? Which one was that?
Yes.
Frigate? Frigate?
Was that? Oh, Frigate. Yep, Frigate was on.
Bro, what
Frigate,
is...
Halberd. We had all these stages on, but what we found...
I remember Halberd.
What we found was that Meta Knight just won on all of them.
Here we
go.
So
we turned them all off because Meta Knight was a problem. What happens when you go to a very conservative stage list with only 3 or 4 stages? Ice Climbers get really strong because there's no wackiness to throw them off. I think if you got rid of Meta Knight and turned on weird stages, it would have saved Brawl. It would have made it a very weird game, but
a tier 1
I think it would have
esport.
survived.
Tier 1 esport.
I personally believe that would have been good. So just to tie everything back up,
I mean,
I think that's how I feel.
Yeah, we'll get into Q&A now, but like someone in the chat just mentioned, like if going left to right the fastest was the object of the game and Sonic was the fastest, obviously, then people would want smaller stages. And it's like, yeah, like this constant like meta doctoring with stages. That's a good point.
It's
a little bit of a doozy because, like Coney said at the very beginning, and what I want to actually commend Genesis with doing, with having, I think, the record largest stage list in the entire scene, because we've only trimmed down from there. I know it was a risk. I know it was this. I know it was that. Competitive integrity, etc. Why are we testing at majors, etc. Bro, everything's a test. And I think at the end of the day, like, we will not be able to, like, adding another stage right now, regardless of how pretty it is, whatever, the only thing that we can do as far as that, our last hopes are on Banjo's stage, which doesn't look like it's going to happen.
No. That's another Delfino.
The last, I know, but again, though, every time, this is interesting because every time a new DLC stage comes out, there's just like, hey, this should be legal, guys, and now we're like, never mind.
Yes.
Like the Bayonetta stage, I remember in the last game, people were like, oh, this should be legal. Then it's like, this is actually migraines. But those are our only last 3 hopes. Banjo stage, DLC number 4, DSL number 5. Because for everybody else, every single stage in this game of 110 plus stages has been solved, tested, documented, and dismissed. And we're only down to what, 5, 7? So we're not adding any stages anytime soon, except for anything that we don't know of. And I think, like Coney was saying, like, Smashers love to take away, and giving back, that is so hard to do, man. It's not happening.
Well, just to be clear also, the meta's in a very good spot right now, so if it's between, like, adding weird stuff and making it, and it going off the rails, I'd rather sort of stick on the path where I'm right now. Things are fine, just to be clear. I think a lot of people thought that camping was going to be a lot stronger on, like, Kalos and FD, but we found that, like, defensive play isn't, at least not, like, overtly defensive play, like projectiles and everything. That's not the bear that we thought it was. Mm-hmm. Like, whether defensive play is too strong in Ultimate at the top level, that's sort of a bigger question.
And that's another thing. Oh, my God. It's anyway, like, yeah. That final point, balancing between top level and casual level, a whole nother thing. So, Opening up Q&A now on Smashcenter. This episode has been pretty much a wild ride. We're going to take, I'm going to say, 3 questions. 3 very good, amazingly, eloquently written questions tagging us. And of course, Fire Yams gets the first slot since he's a Coney aficionado.
That's my boy.
But go ahead and tag us in the chat if you're listening to us through YouTube. Like, you missed it. You missed it. So, Fire Yams with the first question, reading this now. I do disagree with Coney's Buckwild stage takes, but I did commentate over 9 games in a row on PS2 this weekend. How do we convince people to actually just pick a different stage?
They won't because, okay, PS2, Kalos, Town and City, FD, basically the same for most intents and purposes. So which one do you like the most? The most basic one, and that's PS2, because the platforms are going to stay the same, but there are platforms. Like, it's people are functionally just going to pick that over and over if they don't really care either way, because the stages are very, very similar. I personally feel like the stage list is a little bit too... The stage list isn't homogenous, but the stages are too homogenous, and it's like,
whoa,
that's my frustration.
Well, that was a concept. The stage list isn't homogenous, but the stages are too homogenous.
I don't. A stage list cannot be homogenous because it's, well, I guess it could be. Anyway, regardless, all the stages are the same, and I'm pissed off about it. So that's why people are going to pick PS2, because it's the most similar. Yams
of the Fire, I would suggest that when it comes to like what you did this weekend, I'm assuming you're at a local, because I doubt you were at Umebura SP4. Ask your local TOs, because listen, at the end of the day, everybody, here's the thing. Your local town heroes likely won't end up on the EVO main stage, which is okay, and not even a shot at you. But statistically speaking, out of the 3,000 people plus that traveled, spent money, ate bad food, and slept uncomfortably to be at EVO, only 8 were on stage. So those are the odds we're talking about. As long as your community is coming back, giving more, and excited about it, make the stage list you want. Keep it, within means. Maybe set up a side event area to stage test. But at the end of the day, like, if your players want to travel for the next big event, make it so that they can. If your players are like, I don't care about the PGR, give me that woohoo, then you do it, okay? But anyways, I think that, yeah, they are kind of similar, but I do really mess with the Pokemon soundtrack. I'll say that right now.
Yeah, I mean, the stage has good music. So.
That's a win in itself. Next question. Oh, wow, a lot of people. Wheezing Clown as a spicy one. As a potential solution, the rule set problem. For the rule set problem, I said eloquently written. As a potential solution, the rule set problem. Should PG make an official rule set for PG art events? You would need a governing body, and I would need another inbox for my DMs, because it's already filled with people who can't deal with having their mediocrity ranked. But no, that is a big... I mean, here's what would happen. So PG puts this out. All right, these are the PGR ranked tournament sanctioned rules. Big House is like, you know what? No. Then what? Then it's like, whoa, we want to, we can't not rank big. Like, it turns into a weird thing. It turns into something that we're not a part of. The thing that I'm really happy about that PGR does is that we're just the reflection part of the community. We're not the tone setters. And that's like kind of hard to see, because obviously like we come out with this thing and it becomes this big deal. But like, we rate tournaments based on what they do. We don't prescribe a rating beforehand. We don't say this is going to be that. And we try to keep it that way, more reflective than directive or authoritative. But who knows? Maybe there's a Nintendo official rule set. Hint, hint. Anyways, maybe 2 more questions, because wow, these are coming just like out the gate. You see one, Coney, you want?
I'm following something. So RK put up a good point. He's from MDVA, goes to Xanadu. He said that
we used to have
Castle Siege. Yeah, we used to have Castle Siege on at Xanadu, but nobody ever picked it. And I think WarioWare was kind of the same. Like, with those stages,
and Ultimate
never picked it. Yeah, so that's a good point. Is that like, I want these stages, but it seems like the invisible hand is guiding people toward, sort of the flatter stages. And if that's what people want to play on, that's fine. It's an interesting conversation, but then they're still kind of affecting the game in a way, because you're using bans on them. I don't know. Regardless, that's an interesting talk we could talk about for an hour, but I'm trying to keep it tight. So
yeah, and the whole ban situation is the most convoluted thing ever to have to explain. Like, I use the index card at majors, no shame. I don't know what I'm doing. I gentleman to PS2, no shame. I gentleman to PS2 all weekend at SmashCon. Yep. But more options are better. But again, how are you going to do it? Okay, here's a little bit not related to what we're talking about, which is always nice. Who do you think will be the person to overthrow MK Leo's dominance? By Hawk T45. I love it when people use dark blue on a black background. Yeah. I don't overthrow. That would mean like topple. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Not this season. Not this season.
Yeah, nobody's gonna take his throne and
not
sit
Zachary, on it. Yeah.
Instead,
maybe
he might vacate it. So like other people will be at the top. Like Tweak can beat him, Mars can beat him, Simsor can beat him. Like we'll see sort of a toss up, but I don't think anybody's gonna go on a run like Leo has done and become like and that's not a shot at anybody, but I don't know if Tweak has the. We've seen that Tweak can have valleys along with his peaks, so that's a little scary. Mars is liable to go out at 13th.
Or beat Leo twice.
Yeah. And Samsora would probably be your best bet, but he's currently, what, 10-2? With Leo himself. So,
damn.
I don't know. It's
Poor
either
Sam.
It would be Samsora.
That was a heartbreaker.
But,
yeah, I don't. There's no one. He's so clearly above everybody, and he has like a win button that I don't see like a topple or overthrow. I see a trip up, but this is not. This is not the beginning. I don't see anyone's storyline this season, even this season, at all, coming into disrupting Leo's dominance. Because it would have happened at Evo, or it would have happened at SmashCon, at least making him sweat. Riddles, I don't know what he was on, but he almost had something. But again, that's not a topple. That's not a give me that number one Leo. It's me now. It's more of a red dot, blue dot on the PG stats account.
Shouts to Inui. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll do one last one because everyone's been so good.
You guys have been very good.
Let's see. Oh, this is a cool one. I wonder what you think. So, Steel 10 asks, do you think if a top tier player like Leo played hero, it would tilt the scale more towards banning? Oof.
Absolutely. No question. Yes. If Leo was winning we've seen how much he's tilted it with Joker, and the fact that nobody else is picking Joker is the only real argument we have. If Leo was playing hero and doing this to people, 100% it would tilt in that direction.
But then you're banning Leo. You're not even banning hero. That's so dumb.
It doesn't matter if it's this early to the character coming out. The idea is that if hero comes out a month ago and Leo is beating everybody with him, people that have been practicing their characters for literal years. Yes, he's doing it with Joker.
Yes, he's doing it with Joker.
But he's had 3 or 4 months to ramp up with Joker.
Oh, okay, but what? Okay,
like, I'm talking about time proximity. If Leo does it with Hero in 3 months, maybe it wouldn't influence as much.
That's tasteful. That's tasteful.
Yes, that's how I feel.
If he does it at Shine, that's an instant ban.
It's gonna be a talk. It's gonna be a talk. Seriously.
What a community.
I think if he wants him banned, he should do that. Like.
Oh no! What didn't he do that with? What was it? Bayonetta at the Invitationals on Plups Ridley.
Yes, he did. Yep.
Damn. Die a hero or live long enough to become a hero main. Anyways, Smashcenter concluding Q&A was great. Everybody loved the energy today. Had about 120 people tune in. Thank you for listening to us.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Coney, any words before we sign off on your end?
Either way, whichever way you guys feel about it.
Be respectful, Jesus.
Well, respect doesn't fly in Smash in any capacity. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. That's the problem. Respect doesn't get impressions. It doesn't get views. It doesn't change hearts and minds. Like, what people will only be influenced by what they see. If you want hero ban, the best thing you can do is
call your congressman.
The best thing you can do is pick him up and make people mad. I know it's frustrating and I know it feels like you have to learn this brand new character, but that's the only way that people are going to really figure it out. Because if you don't do that, people are going to say, well, this is all theory. I don't see it actually happening. Clips are starting to come in.
Oh, God.
But until more people get thwacked, he's not going anywhere. So if that's what you want, do that. That's all I can say. As somebody that's been in the scene for 10 years, like, The only reason the Meta Knight ban started getting traction was because secondary Meta Knights were beating people that mained characters for years and years because the character was dumb. Like, if you could pick up Hero and beat your number one on the PR local Peach, you will get people talking. So do that.
Oh no, you just inspired a whole generation of awfulness.
That's what you have to do.
All right, gotta.
Sorry.
If you want to thwack Hero, you gotta thwack them haters. So, Smashcenter 33, I think. Coney can find you at ConeyZZ on Twitter and on Twitch at Coney.
And on Twitch at Coney. And you might catch me at Coney on Twitter soon, maybe. I don't want to give anything away, but we're working on that. Oh, also, Puppe is doing what I just explained. Puppe says that Hero is dumb, and he's starting to win tournaments here in MDVA with him, and he's posting clips everywhere. That is what you do. Puppe is affecting change.
Wait, Puppe's playing Hero?
Yep, and he's winning tournaments down here and thwacking people at 20 and making people mad, and his goal is to make people reconsider the character. If we have more Puppes, something will happen. That's how I feel.
So weird. Okay, well, in any case,
Parappa was doing the same thing, but I think Parappa legitimately likes the character because Parappa, that's his shtick. So, yeah. I don't think he's trying to get him banned, but...
Shoutouts to Parappa. Okay,
I love that kid.
Well, in any case, damn, this is kind of dicey. Thanks, Coney. We'll catch you next time. I'm going to go ahead and sign us off, but yeah, we'll catch you next week, all right?
See you next time, buddies. Thank you for tuning in. I'm streaming Thursday, and I have a bounty of gummy worms. So come through. I'm going to eat some gummy worms. I'm probably going to play Mario Maker. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.
Oh, God, Coney. All right. Well, that's Coney for you. Suar here now. Thank you for joining us on this 33rd episode of Smashcenter. Like we said earlier, if you want to get Hero thwacked, you got to thwack them haters, I guess is what they say. In any case, Shine 2019 is this weekend. S tier as well. Third one for this season. We're in that summer of Smash. You know how it is. It's a rainstorm every other day or an S tier. In either case, you can check out the PG Stats Twitter at the PG Stats. You can check me at PG_Suar. If you still have lingering questions or we didn't get to you in the Q&A because there were just so many, make sure to hit me up. If I don't respond, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's because I'm willfully not checking my DMs. Happens. In any other case, enjoy. We'll see you next week. And again, last weekend we had a recording of the Evo Lost episode. We didn't have VODs turned on while we were recording, which is a pretty rookie mistake. So we had Beach, actually, a very lovely voice the Evo episode. So it was like a quick 2-3 minute thing. If you want to check it out, it's on the YouTube. It's the Evo edition of Smashcenter. In any case, we'll be back next week to see what happened at Shine. Maybe people got thwacked. Maybe the PGR got thwacked. We'll see. But in any case, thank you for coming. Tell someone you love them. And we'll see you at the next one because that's all we got left. All right? So just go start thwacking people. All right? See you.